Hello, welcome to our final week of Unit 3, and in this week we're going to be turning our planner into an essay. I'm going to walk you through this argument essay template that you can either download and directly write on or keep on your screen as you're writing on a different program to know where to put all the elements I'm asking for. All right, let's start with some APA stuff on the title page. In the header, the words running head need to appear on the title page, and then the full title in all caps, then the page number here. So the words running head do need to appear on the title page before the title. And this is the only page that the words running head need to appear. Once you get to page 2, they disappear and your title shortens. All right, going on to the title information. Actually, I'm going to keep it up here for a second. Okay, so your title goes in here in bold and in normal capitalization. I do not need this title in all caps, just the appropriate letters capitalized. Now, please be aware that this title needs to match this title. So it's your title that goes up here, not the title of the article. And your title will appear in several different places outside of the content where the article title appears. All right, so after your title, you'll do your name, the department, and the college on the same line there, and then the class, my name, and then the due date. And that is the title page and all the pieces that go there. All right, moving on to page 2, short and title, 1 to 2 words in the running head, page number on the far right. Going down here, it's your title here, so it's the full title, not a shortened title. Shortened title is only in the running head. And this is in plain text, meaning it's not in bold and it's in normal capitalization. All right, let's get into content. All right, so our first paragraph here is the intro paragraph, and the intro paragraph has 3 parts: the hook, the background, and then the thesis. So the hook should be 2 sentences that pull your reader in. Use a statistic, a quote, or tell a short story, or ask a thought-provoking question. There's several ways you can do this to pull your reader in. Then the background is all going to be about the D2L article. So the article by Kira Barrett is going to be in the background. I don't need to see your second article here that you found on the source evaluation in the background. I only need to see the Kara Barrett article. So you'll put her name, the title of her work, and the main idea in the first background sentence. Make sure all things are connected. So it's going to be Kira Barrett's, that's an apostrophe S, then the title of her article, and then say something like discusses or explains. All 3 pieces should be connected with other words and apostrophe S's. You can't just have all 3 separated by commas in a sentence for it to be considered a real full sentence. The second background will just expand on that main idea, add a little bit more details, maybe go into a minor detail about the main idea. It should not repeat the main idea. It should just expand on it or clarify it further. The last sentence in this paragraph should be your thesis. A thesis is never a question. A thesis is not about the article. It is about your opinion. So you're going to clearly state whether or not you think social media negatively impacts someone's mental health, along with your 3 reasons in 1 sentence. For example, I believe that social media negatively impacts someone. Sorry, let me start that back there. I believe that social media negatively impacts a person's mental health because it interrupts their sleep cycle. It causes body issues. and you don't form real connections with people. And that's all I need to do. I don't need to explain any of those reasons. I don't need to add anything more than that. I just need to keep it simple and concise. All my explanations will be in their response paragraphs. So that's 5 sentences and 5 sentences only in the intro paragraph. I should not see more than 2 hook, 2 background, and 1 thesis sentence. Moving on, back to the APA. So we're going to do section headings and then subsection headings. So section headings are always centered above the first body paragraph, as you see here, and then subsection headings are always left aligned, and they section off pieces within the overall piece. All right, so our section heading for all body paragraphs can be something like breaking up using, so here's my example of breaking up using technology, or you could do something like the effects of social media, whatever you need to do. Remember, this is an example. I would not keep this one because it doesn't deal with our topic. All right, and then the subsection headings will just section off the summary paragraph and each response paragraph. So each response paragraph and the summary gets a subsection heading. All right, the summary paragraph is going to be about the D2L article by Cara Barrett only. The second article doesn't come in until we do the response paragraph. So keep it on Cara Bennett because she's the article that's sparking this argument and discussion in the first place. So attribution sentence should be the first sentence, author, title, main idea. If you want to pull the sentence you wrote in the intro paragraph down here, that's fine, or you can reword it a bit, whatever works for you. I'll take it either way. Then you're going to list major details. Make sure you're using the appropriate transitions when you're going from idea to idea. And then you'll end with a conclusion sentence that restates the main idea from the first sentence. I don't need the author and title, I just need the main idea. And this paragraph should be 6 to 8 sentences long, so what I recommend is, doing the attribution, 4 major detail points, and then the conclusion. There you have 6. Or you could, add a sentence or 2 to the body of the paragraph for the, the main points. But just remember, you're got to cap it with a attribution and then the conclusion. All right, so I'm just going to focus on one reason paragraph because the setup for all 3 is the same here. We have reason 1 where you'll state your first reason from your thesis. So from my example earlier, it was messes with their sleep cycle. So I would state that social media negatively impacts a person's health because it disrupts their sleep, period. And then I would use the rest of the paragraph to explain what I mean by that, use data from the article I found, using the source evaluation assignment to back up my opinions, or even use Cara Bennett's article to show how that relates. Then I would conclude that paragraph and segue to the next, where I would do the same thing with just a different reason. So it's 3 different reasons. State it clearly in your topic sentence, then explain it in the body paragraph, conclude, and segue into the next paragraph. You need to use both the D2L article and the source evaluation article within your reasons at least once. Okay, so I need to see at least Barrett once, and then your second article once in your reason paragraphs. That doesn't mean once per paragraph, that just means once in all 3 reasons paragraphs total. I need to see it at least once. If you're quoting, make sure you're properly introducing the quotes, like saying something like, as stated in Cara Bennett's article, quotation, blah, 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 period, quotation, in text citation. They cannot hang on their own. They cannot be by themselves. They need to be introduced, and then you need to explain why that relates to what you just talked about. Because there's a lot of work involved in quoting, I highly recommend just paraphrasing. You'll still need to do in-text citations, but you're manipulating the material already into what you're saying, so you don't have to do a lot of that extra stuff about like explaining and introducing it. Just make sure the in-text citations are there. All right, so that's the reason paragraphs. Now we're getting out of the body paragraphs and into the wrap-up paragraphs. Our first wrap-up paragraph is the refutation. The refutation is designed to look at the other person's opinion, present their argument, and prove them wrong. So I said that in my example here that social media has a negative impact on someone. So what here to do is, in my topic sentence for this paragraph, I would present that others believe that social media has a positive impact on a person's body image. Okay, maybe that's something they say, or they have a positive impact on their social development. Because one of my reasons was that, it's hard to make true connections online. So I would state that I'd present it as someone else's belief, not my own, and then I would use the data from the articles and my own experience to prove why that belief is wrong. Okay, you're not agreeing with the other side, you're attempting to prove them wrong. That's about 6 sentences. Once you've done that, you move on to the conclusion paragraph, where you'll review all of your main points from the response paragraphs, the refutation, restate your thesis, and then end with a impactful statement. And this should bring you to about 4 to 5 sentences, depending on how you're doing it. Maybe even 6 tops, which is fine. But it should be no less than 4. And that is the content for your essay. The last thing we need to talk about is the works cited page. So this should be down here on page 5. Works cited always gets a separate page. It should be double spaced, and the author should be in alphabetical order. You can use the citation machine that is in the announcement and that I let you use in Unit 2 to make it up. Or a lot of times, some of your academic source engines already have a citation button and they do it for you. You just have to copy and paste it, but we'll see how that works out. I will post an additional information piece for those who found TED Talks to incorporate those TED Talks on the works cited page. All right, and that is all I have for you today in the argument essay template. Again, you can download this and write on it directly if you have Microsoft Word. If you don't, I would keep it up on the screen by making it go, expanding it to full screen with that button there, and keeping it, up while you're writing and switching back and forth, just to see that you're making sure that all the right pieces are where they need to be. Also, please refer to the outline for more specific information about what needs to go where within the content paragraphs. That is highly important to stay as close to the outline as you can, because that is what I'm looking for. All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Email me if you have any questions.